It's the Huntsville Hornets Coaches Show with head coach Rodney Southern, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Now, here's Carlos Zimmerman and Brian Adams.
Hey, Chick-fil-A, what's going on? Let me hear from you. Welcome back.
Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back to our final edition of the Hornet Nation Coaches Show live at Chick-fil-A, presented by Diana K. Barnes State Farm Insurance. I'm your host, Carlos Zimmerman, along with Brian Adams. It'll be a little different tonight with this being the last show. Normally, we end the show with the Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club, but we're going to start it off tonight for reasons Casey's not allowing me to say. So let's welcome the Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club, Casey Kroll.
Thank you. Jennifer Harrison, Kimberly Taylor, and Rob Schweitzer.
Y'all give it up for him. Y'all give it up for him.
So tonight, we're not going to tell you what's coming up. We actually want to give something to KSAM. MASH is starting tomorrow, and we have a check from the Quarterback Club for the MASH program for $200.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much.
That is super cool.
That is
Thank you all.
That will be a great start to
So we want to encourage everybody else to come out to the HEB parking lot in the morning, see Carlos bright and early and all the rest of the KSAM guys, and donate. And Quarterback Club would not exist without the rest of these members and all the people that help out throughout the year and give their time. So I want to thank the board that's here to help us out all the time. And hopefully next year, some of them will come up here besides me.
Oh, you did such a good job.
It's not from a lack of trying. I tried with Kim. I tried, but, it is what it is. Well, no, we greatly appreciate everything you guys do very much. And we just thank you for all your hard work this year, and we look forward to what is to come for you guys next year. We thank you all very much.
Thank you so much for y'all's time tonight.
Absolutely. Y'all give it up for the Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club. All right, and we're going to motor right along here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Another special thing tonight. Yes, thank you for taking that check, because you shouldn't trust me with that. Might go where it doesn't need to. All right.
He came up quick for that check, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He knows me. He knows me. Anyway, joining us next here, we'll get a quick message and an update on our facilities. We're going to welcome the superintendent of Huntsville Independent School District, Dr. Scott Shepard. Y'all give it up for Dr. Scott. We'll let him get his headset on here before I try and start talking. Dr. Shepard, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Just wanted to get a quick update. We had you on our first show back in August, and why not here at the end of November to have you back on? Just wanted to get a quick update on the facilities that are going up over at the high school. What you got?
Well, we're rolling along pretty well. Of course, we had a drought, and the drought ended, and now it rains every day. So that's not been the best. But they're making great progress. It's kind of neat for me. I can look out my window, literally, and see the construction going on schedule, on the new schedule that we talked about at the beginning of this season. So we're still on schedule for that. If everything goes well, we'll be in the stadium for this coming fall. I always say, and Coach Southern and I talk about it probably every day, is, be prepared to play a few games somewhere else just in case, because things have to work out perfectly for us to be on schedule for opening day. But we're confident we'll be in the season, in the stadium during the season.
Now, I haven't had a chance to drive back over there because, I've been, touring the country with Sam Houston.
Right.
Touring, so to speak. But how have things been looking over there? Last time I went over there, I started to see the outline for the softball and baseball fields, and then believe we have steel coming up for the football?
We have steel. We have concrete poured in the ground for the pillars, for the foundations. You can definitely see, if you look over the fence there on MLK, you can see the outline of what will be the fields and where the concourse will be that separates the two. Those are on schedule as well. They should finish at the same time as the stadium does. On the non-sport side, we've poured slabs at almost every campus for the renovations and additions. And then on the other side of the high school, we've started work on the auditorium as well. So pretty much all the projects have broken ground.
That's good. Ryan, do you have anything for Dr.
Yeah,
Shepard?
you know what? I just want to tell you, me personally, want to thank you and Coach Southern and everybody who made that possible. Because, folks, think about this for a minute. Huntsville was only one of two schools in the state of Texas that did not have their own stadium, hasn't had their own stadium in 50 years. This is a huge deal. And without your help, without Coach Southern, the community coming together, passing that bond, couldn't have been done it without you. So thank you.
Well,
very
thank
much
you.
for that.
And I always want to take the opportunity to say thanks to the community for supporting our district and for the voters that came out and helped pass that bond. It's going to be life-changing for generations of Hornets, and we can't thank you enough for that support.
Absolutely. Dr. Shepard, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, y'all come on. Y'all give it up.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us, and look forward to the next time we get to chat with you. Hopefully we'll see some more things popping up over there at the high school.
Absolutely. Thank you. And sting 'em Hornets.
Absolutely.
Sting 'em Hornets.
All right, let's step aside and take a quick break, and then the coach, the man himself, he will join us as we take a look back at the season for the Hornets. So we'll be back in a few moments here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show, live from Chick-fil-A in Huntsville.
Hey folks, it's Steve Novert, Adams Furniture. We're having our Black Friday sale on all our mattresses in store. We have twin mats starting at $150, queen mats at $215, king mats at $475. Our Tempur-Pedics are on sale. Save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses and adjustable bases. Did you know you can take home a queen-size Tempur-Pedic mat for as low as $45 a month with our interest-free financing? How about saving up to $400 on Sealy Posturepedic mattresses and adjustable bases? Are you tired of being tired, fighting that bed all night? Are you waking up sore, hurting, feeling like you just went 15 rounds with your bed? Come in and see how a great mattress should feel. There's a reason why Tempur-Pedic promises life-changing sleep. You should look forward to going to bed, not fighting it. We're also giving away $300 worth of goodies with select mattress purchases. No one has your back like your hometown furniture and mattress store like Adams Furniture, located at 30 State Highway and 75 North in Huntsville, Texas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Come on, let me hear it from you. I know it's been a hot day today. You know, I came from a cold climate. I woke up this morning, 5 o'clock Pacific time, out there in Nevada with the Bearcats. 29 degrees in Reno. I land back here. The pilot says, yeah, it's about 80 degrees out here. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm going to get sick.
80
Either
degrees, and Christmas is right around the corner, and we'll be in shorts and T-shirts.
Yeah.
Till tomorrow morning.
Well, till tomorrow morning.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, welcome back here on the show, folks. If you're just joining us, just heard from Casey Kroll in the Huntsville Hornet Quarterback Club and from Dr. Scott Shepard. And now joining us is the head coach of the Huntsville Hornets, head coach Rodney Southern. Y'all give it up for Coach Southern. Come on. Coach, it's been a little bit since we've had the chance to chat with you, but, you know, just looking back at this season, it was up and down, a lot of growth from your team. Just your thoughts on this 2022 season for your guys.
Well, after you finish and you have an opportunity to kind of step back, I usually take, and especially if it falls around Thanksgiving, I usually try to take a week and get away from the kids, the coaches, and I know they want to get away from me probably, and just kind of digest everything that happened, and then you try to go through and look at all of the things that you felt like you did well, which we've got a list of those things, and then we've got a list of the things that we know that we didn't do well, and then you got to figure out, okay, why didn't we not do these things well, and that's part of our process. But at the same time, we're planning, I've already given our coaches all the information all the way through spring training, because obviously as we go into the spring, we're going to have some logistical issues that we may not know about at this point. It depends on construction. It depends on kind of where everything falls, and then obviously going into the fall of next year, are we at Sam? Are we, in between, where are we going to play sub-varsity, where are we going to play junior high? So from a logistical standpoint, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff. But when we finish a season, we try to I want to kind of decompress, and because you don't want to make rash decisions about things that may or may not have happened. And I told Dr. Shepard a while ago, I've kind of followed some of the playoffs. I don't go watch a bunch of football. I watch a little college football on TV, but I talked to Coach Williams from Fort Bend Marshall today and just wished him good luck, because I think they got a chance to win the whole thing. If they can get past this side of the bracket, I don't think there's anybody on the other side of the bracket. I don't think it can beat them. I hope he wins it anyway, because he's not only are they a good football team, but he's an incredible man and an incredible ambassador for our game. So we've done a lot of those little things. We've obviously already started off season, but this is probably one of the most unique years because – like tonight, our basketball team is in Magnolia, and I think we've got 28 football players that are in Magnolia playing basketball right now. Obviously, our kids that play soccer are trying out and started soccer. I think Austin played in a golf tournament yesterday. So, you know, our kids have other things other than football, so we want to be able to help them with that. But at the same time, you got to get in off season and get ready for the springtime.
Coach, this year it was you had quarterbacks. You had 3 different quarterbacks you used this year, and you had some ups and downs with the season and things like that. What do you and your staff take away from this year as far as your growth of this team?
Well, I think the first thing you got to look at is, you know, like going into the last playoff game, you know, we had multiple kids that got playoff experience, and whether the game was in control or out of control, you know, when a kid gets an opportunity, a sophomore, a freshman, whatever age it is, when they get an opportunity to go play in a game that's different. And it's hard to explain to people if you haven't done it, or obviously if you haven't been involved in it. But once the final season ends and the playoffs start, everything changes. Now your prep work and all the stuff you do doesn't, but just the intensity and all of that stuff changes. We have an opportunity to bring freshmen and JV guys up, and there's always 1 or 2 of those guys that you look and go, man, you know, this kid's going to help us. So we try to look at all of that, but the biggest thing in terms of growth for us is looking at how many guys, you know, and I think we shared this a while back. We dressed 69 guys for that game, and 51 of them are coming back. So whatever their level is at that point, because not all of them will be varsity guys, but it would be really good if our program got to the point where we had 59 varsity guys and 40 of them are seniors. And so that's where you kind of start with, and then we'll look at, you know, what we did offensively and defensively, you know, with Coach Brewer leaving last year a little bit later. You know, when I moved Coach Schroeder over there, we went in with a base plan. Now we've got to kind of redefine what our identity is. We've obviously got Braylon coming back. We've got Trayshawn coming back for 3 years. So, you know, a lot of our focus will go to the run game first offensively. And then defensively, we're experienced, especially in the back end. So we'll start with that, and then obviously getting bigger and stronger, because a lot of these kids are 15 to 16 or 14 to 15. Well, they're going to change physically. They're going to get bigger. They're going to get stronger. And to me, that's the number one priority right now. And now as we get closer into the springtime, late February and March, then you kind of start focusing on more football-related stuff.
Coach, let me just ask you this straight up. Did your team exceed the expectations you had at the start of the season back in August?
No, we didn't. I mean, making the playoffs was obviously the first goal. We were too up and down, and when you're up and down, you're going to have struggles that you have to try to figure out how to identify. And it's easy to say, and that's why I said it the first week, and I tried not to say it after that we were young. Well, Richmond Randall was young. Montgomery was young. Lake Creek, to an extent, is young. I mean, you know, you can't use young as an excuse. But did we exceed? No. Did we fall short? Yeah, we fell short in some areas. And when I say that, I look at it as, would you rather make the playoffs and have a winning record, or, you know, there's all kinds of things you can look at. The thing I look at is, did we improve as we went along? And whether you win or not, sometimes, you know, like I look at the other night against Fort Bend Marshall. We could play them 10 times in the situation we were in, and they'd probably beat us 10 times. They're better than us. But I look at some guys on film that got in the game and got opportunities to play that are going to help us, whether it's next year or it's even the next year. So, you know, you can always find a lot of good out of a season, especially when you're involving young people. And I think our kids understand that, or I hope they do.
Coach, what really just specifically stood out to you most about how your players just responded in every game that they went out there, from A&M Consolidated to Fort Bend Marshall?
Well, I think when you look at you know, because I try to break if we look at it normally, and normally is depending on how many district games you got, because you really got a preseason, then you've got a district season, and then you've got a postseason. Well, our open date was not till week 8, so you run into how do you break your season up? We also had we lost 3 in a row in that cycle. Well, when you have 16 or 18 young kids and you lose 3 in a row, it's easy to say, okay, well, it's over. But they never did that. And, and I look and say the game against Richmond Randall showed me some character of some kids that were they ready? Not every one of them were ready to play varsity. Some of them had to play varsity based on necessity or based on the need of the position they were in. When you look and say your 5 offensive linemen were the most experienced guys you've got on the football field, that's good in one way, but that's not good when you look at the other side of that. So there's still a lot of things we can get better at, but as your program grows, you want to get in the playoffs because that's what everybody kind of judges you by. And yeah, I love getting in the playoffs and doing the things we got to do, but you also got to look at the other facets of your program and make sure those things are correct.
Coach, let's talk about your senior guys that you had. You didn't have a whole lot of them, but what did these seniors, this particular group of seniors, do for you, your team? What are your thoughts on those guys?
Well, when you have 16 of them at the 5A level, or probably even at the 4A level, I've got a couple guys that coach with us that are on the staff at Carthage. Carthage has got 30-something seniors. And you look and say, okay, that's 4A versus 5A or versus 6A. Clear Springs had 52 seniors. So when you look at your seniors, you try to, I don't want to say judge because that's not the right word, but you look and say, okay, where did these guys do what they needed to do? And, of course, immediately I go to our 5 offensive linemen. The thing this year through the whole season that I probably enjoyed more than anything was watching those guys work. I still believe we've got 2 of the best O-line coaches in high school, and the relationships that they build. But, Thomas Rose and Chris Smith started 3 years for us. Caesar ended up being a guy that had kind of moved around. He was on varsity, then he went to JV a year ago, and to see those guys kind of gel together and play well. And then, of course, I've got a soft spot for Matthew Tatum because obviously I got a chance to coach both of his brothers and obviously his dad working with us for years. And every week I'd go in, okay, where we're going to move Matthew this week. We moved him from kick returner to the center, and he was our holder. He did so many things for us. And and I wanted to get in the playoffs for guys like that. But I think this senior group, I walked out of the field house yesterday at almost 5 o'clock. We had just finished powerlifting, and Arthur Sandals is standing out there, and he didn't know what to do. He's, it's the end of the year, and I've done this for 6 years basically. And he and I just laughed about, he never missed a summer workout. Even when he was injured, he never missed a summer workout. So, you can find, and I could sit here with every individual senior and say something like that about each one of them because they fight and they clawed all the way through, and we never had an issue, and we're at a stage with our program where we shouldn't have issues. Now, are things going to happen? Sure they are. You're going to have somebody get mad, or somebody's going to get mad at me because I didn't play this person or that person, but this group was tremendous in terms of how they worked every day, and there was never an issue. And obviously the O-line practicing, I enjoyed watching them practice.
You know what? You talk about those seniors, and Carlos, he and I both have talked about it. Those guys that came on to the coaches show, those seniors, and we would ask them, what are you going to do with these younger guys that are coming up in behind you? And to a person, they said they were going to mentor them. They were going to do everything they could to prepare them for their next year. And that is the cool thing with this group of seniors, is taking that kind of leadership role in mentoring these younger guys. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the big thing that people a lot of times don't understand about football that's and I'm obviously partial 36 years of being around the game. Football is different than a lot of other sports. When football's over for you, it's over, and it happens immediately. Now, yeah, you can go play some flag football, or if you're good enough, obviously, to play at the next level, or you choose to play at the next level. But everything else, it just stops. And it's hard to explain that because kids don't think it's ever going to end, and then all of a sudden they look up and 14 weeks later it's over. And, just like today, I walked into the lineman locker room, and all these guys, all those old linemen, they're all sitting in there. Of course, most of them, like kids today, their heads down and looking at their phone. But, they're just hanging out in the locker room because, you get that kind of ingrained in you physically. And then mentally, you want to be around those guys, whether they're all friends or not, is kind of irrelevant. And you know this from your experience playing. And just to have that where every year you're going to have that group of kids, whatever that group is, and just giving them the experiences. Because I told Arthur, I said, Arthur, you'll figure this out about 10 years from now. And I said, you'll think, you've thought for years I was crazy, and then you'll realize, well, he might have been a little bit smarter than I thought he was, because it's experience. It's not, football's so different than the other things, and it's hard to explain to people, especially if you haven't played it.
Brian, do you have any final thoughts for Coach?
No, you know what? Again, I just, you got to get some young talent in there and get them some experience, and it's only going to help the team, next year and the years beyond that. I loved that. Whether it was out of necessity or out of the talent alone, whatever it was, anytime you see young guys getting that playoff experience is going to pay off in spades down the road, man. So I like that.
Yeah. Well, and obviously at the stage we're in now, from 9 years ago, when we walk in like Caesar and Nathan Schweitzer and Thomas and all those guys, well, they're not going to get to dress in that new field house. They're not going to get to play on that stadium field. So, you want to do the things, you want to do right by them, because what's coming, and I'm not 100% sure that our kids really understand what's fixing to happen once all this, and until you see steel go up and bleachers go up, then you kind of get a perspective. But we fly our drone over it every Thursday, and if you look now, the lights are down, the press box and everything's gone. I mean, there's a big hole out there right now where they're digging. So, I mean, it's just exciting to see, and knowing that our 7th and 8th graders and 9th graders are going to benefit, and not just them, our soccer team being able to play at home on our own field, and having the things that a lot of other schools obviously already have.
Coach, before I let you go, just let's look again next season. Fingers crossed. Brand new spanking facility. You have a battle-tested team. You got more coming up through the pipeline. Your thoughts on what's to come?
Well, we're excited about where we're going with this group, and we knew this year that there was going to be some struggles, and you just hope you can survive those struggles, and then you win the games that you need to win. And to see us, like at Richmond Randall, have to come back and win a game. But I think when you look at our group of freshmen, they had a good year. Our JV won the district again. They only lost one game, and there are going to be some of those guys that are going to have to play for us next year. Stadium or not stadium, you've got another year of maturity. We're going to revamp a lot of how we do things because of what the UIL now gives us the ability to do in the summer. There's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to be able to get done in the summer. We're going to change some of our 7-on-7, how we do that, because you got to evaluate everything you do. But we're also, Lake Creek played 3 rounds, Brenham played 3 rounds, Belton played 2 rounds, Clear Springs played 2 rounds, A&M played 2 rounds. So, I mean, it's not going to get any easier next year. It's actually, I think our district is going to be even tougher next year than it was this year. So we've obviously got to grow and mature for another year, and then put the best 11 we can put out there.
Well, there you have it. Y'all give it up for head coach Rodney Southern. Coach, thank you for joining us all season long, and we look forward to having you back again next year.
I appreciate it, and thank you all for doing this again.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's step aside and take a break, and we get now to one of our favorite parts of the show. And I've been looking forward to this all day, from the flight here and all the way when I walked into Chick-fil-A today. Let's get to the players. Starting us off, I thought about mixing it up today, but I'm not going to. We're going to go with the field general himself. Number 11, Austin Taylor, joins us next. Be back here in a few moments here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show, live from Chick-fil-A.
It's time for you to call A&D Propane in Huntsville for that tank fill. A&D Propane is the only locally owned and operated propane dealer in Huntsville, and they serve Walker and surrounding counties. Not only are they family owned and operated, they're also veteran owned. A&D Propane offers discounts to senior citizens, members of the military, and first responders. They also offer cash discounts. A&D Propane is also the home of freepropane.com. A&D Propane does it all. Tank installs, above and below ground, appliance conversions, and more. Visit A&D Propane online at freepropane.com.
Hi, I'm Kathy Markham. For over 40 years, we at Markham Realty have worked diligently to serve Walker County. But it's not just about making the sale. It's about our clients and the relationships we have built together along the process. We pride ourselves with the experience to guide you, the commitment to find you the right investment, and the trust we build together while making sure your interests remain our top priority. You should visit us online at markhamrealty.com. And thank you, Walker County, for voting us Best Real Estate Company for 2022.
This is the KSAM Sports Network, 101.7 KSAM Huntsville, your hometown radio station.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Hey, y'all feeling tonight? Y'all let me hear it from you. Come on. All right, I want to shout some people out and then handle some other laundry before we move on to the players segment. I want to shout out Professor Martin Gaston from the Sam Houston State University Mass Communications Department, my department that I graduated from. Thank you and your son for coming out for the show tonight. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Some members of Huntsville softball are here as well. Callie, I'll see you in February. And then, of course, Alexis Taylor, an alumni of Huntsville softball. Thank you all for coming as well. And, of course, the quarterback club. And before we move on, I forgot to mention at the beginning, we are giving away the Hornet flag tonight that is signed by the entire team. You have until the end of the show, which is about 30 minutes, to sign up. You win the flag. We'll draw it at the end of the show. My wonderful general manager, Tim Johnson, will hold it up for the crowd here. Signed by the entire team. So come on.
So
sign
we're gonna
up for it.
Are we pulling the drawing for that?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
At the end of the
Very
show.
cool.
At
All
the
right.
end of the show. So put your name in there and put your info, and then we will draw it at the end of the show. All right. Now that we've got that laundry out of the way, joining us now from the team, and I've been looking forward to having him on all season long, as well as our next guest as well, which we'll get to in a minute. Joining us now is quarterback Austin Taylor. Y'all give it up for Austin.
Austin Taylor.
How are you, my man?
I'm pretty good.
Good, doing good. Good deal. All right, first season, varsity level for you. I mean, I know it's been an up and down year for you, but just what was it like for you out there playing at the varsity level for the first time?
It was good. At first, it was just like having to catch up to the varsity level compared to the JV from last year, and it was fun. It was a good time.
Good time?
Yeah, until I got hit in the head.
It's always fun until that happens, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, starting out at the beginning of the season, I mean, the nerves were there, but, you started just sling the ball like you've been out there for like your entire career already. Just what helped you to shake off those nerves in that first game against A&M Consolidated and then through the games that you played?
Well, yeah, once I completed my first varsity pass, I kind of got in a groove, and then once I got tackled for the first time, it was like, oh, yeah, I'm ready for this.
What was that like, just getting popped for the first time? I remember mine, and I'm sure you remember yours.
It was good. It didn't hurt too bad.
Okay.
I mean, I got up, so I was...
That's all that matters,
Yes,
is that
sir.
you got up, that you got back up. I know you battled with injuries at the start of district, but what were some of those other challenges that you faced and how you were able to overcome them?
One of the challenges I faced was having the right path on like zone reads and pitch options, which as I went and watched film throughout the year, I slowly figured it out and started working.
Yeah, and then just having to deal with those injuries. I mean, I know it's tough. You're a sophomore, and then you're going out there, and you're not able to get out there and play with your brothers. Just what was that like, overcoming all of that?
I mean, it was good. I was just glad I got to support them from the sideline, and as they fought through battle, and prayed for them.
Good.
You know what, Austin? I'm glad you're here talking to you. Hornet quarterback sitting next to me, man, when you're looking at an old one from back in the old days. But I've got to ask you, man, you got hurt. There were some quarterback changes and things like that, but you got back in the district finale. You got in for one play. But let me tell you, from my perspective, that was probably one of the most important plays, if not the most important play of the year, because you got the first down, and then you guys went in and scored, if I remember correctly, right after that, and really propelled you to the playoffs. What did that feel like for you?
I mean, it felt good being able to come in after one guy's helmet hit off and be able to make an impact in the game.
So when they called the play, what were your thoughts?
Read the defensive end, and if he comes around to the running back, pull it, go get the first down.
Nice. Now, you did it to perfection. And, again, in my opinion, that was one of the main plays that propelled you guys into the playoffs. Outstanding.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you got to work with Coach Elliott as your quarterback coach all season. You know, his son, Jace, a former Hornet quarterback as well. Just he's got that knowledge of the quarterback position. Just what did you learn most from Coach Elliott?
Well, mainly to be a leader and show good body language because everyone else is going to follow you. And if you have bad body language, no one's going to, be ready and want to play.
Do you have good body language?
For the most part.
Okay. I'm glad you're honest. I'm glad you're honest on that front. We talked about the seniors with Coach Southern a little bit ago. I mean, just what did you learn a lot from them? Of course, Jawan being a junior was with you in the depth chart there as well. But the other seniors as well, Matthew Tatum, that entire offensive line that protected you whenever you're playing out there. What did you learn most, and just what did you enjoy just getting to play alongside those seniors?
Well, I enjoyed playing with Matthew Tatum the most because of how much we worked during the off season, during the winter and the summer, and after practice every day, throwing the football 50 times, making sure we have a good connection. And from the offensive line, it was just them helping me up every play and just blocking for me and protecting me.
Good. Brian?
What was your biggest takeaway from this season, you personally?
Just the experience and being able to compete on the varsity level.
You know what? I don't know. I was talking to, it was probably Carlos, and I don't remember what game of the year it was talking about, and I was talking to your grandfather, as a matter of fact, about it. And you played extensively as a sophomore until you got hurt.
Yes, sir.
And back in the mid-'80s, I played 2 quarters as a sophomore. Didn't get near the playing time that you got. So I'm excited with all that experience that you have going and competing in next year. What are your thoughts? Because I know it's kind of a long way from now, but what are your thoughts for next year?
I want to make a deep run in the playoffs and be able to just lead my team and win, go undefeated.
I like it.
Especially beat A&M Consolidated, and that's who I really want to beat.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
You owe a little payback, do you?
Yes, sir. I want to beat them bad.
I get it.
I'm excited for it, too. I believe we opened the season with them. Is that right? Hopefully at the new facility, so that'll be good, and you can take your shot at them then. Let me throw some rapid-fire things your way. Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
My grandpa, just because he taught me how to do everything I know. Hunt, drive, throw football, baseball. Taught me pretty much everything I know.
Ted, if you're watching, your grandson right there. What's the best piece of advice that someone's given you?
That's a good question. Probably just lead by example. Because if you lead, everyone wants to be like you and show good inspiration.
It's good. It's very good. Now I'll throw more rapid fire your way. What do you normally do before a ball game? Just do you lock in, listen to music, eat something?
Yeah, I listen to music, eat a lot of fruit snacks.
A lot of fruit snacks.
Yeah, and
That's
hydrate.
a new one.
that is a new one, yeah.
He's not here to defend himself. The ramen thing still gets me. But anyway, what kind of music do you listen to before a ball game?
Rap and a little bit of country.
Okay.
I listen to country on the way on the bus.
Gotcha. And then rap in the locker room?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes. You have a particular meal on game day that you just absolutely just die for before you go out there and
the chicken that Clint cooks at Northside.
There's a nice shout out.
Clint's a good guy, and he makes some good food. So shout out to you, Clint. If there was a position other than quarterback
or kicker, can't do kicker, man. That's been used to death.
What would you play and why?
Defensive tackle, so I could get the quarterback because they're always coming after me. So
Put some more meat on the bones before you.
Oh, yeah, a lot more.
All right, well, now I want to transition away from football for a second. Baseball season's coming up for you, coming up very soon. Just what are you looking forward to for baseball this year?
I'm just looking forward to being out on the field back again and being able to play some varsity baseball.
Good deal, good deal. Do you know what position you're going to be playing in just yet?
More than likely outfield.
Okay. What do you like about outfield?
Going and getting balls, like in the gap, ranging out.
Throwing the runners out, trying to get an extra base on you. That's the best part of the outfield.
Now, I know you'd mentioned to me before you wanted to try and do left field. That usually when the balls come out there with runners in scoring position, you got to just cannon that in there. You've been working out.
Yes, sir. Well, I haven't really thrown a baseball since football season, but I have tryouts Friday for my summer ball team. So
good deal.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good deal. That's awesome. Now, more rapid fire coming your way. I hope this doesn't catch you too off guard. Your mom told me not to go easy on you, but you're outside of Clint's Chicken, just your favorite food that you just absolutely enjoy.
Probably a steak.
How do you like it cooked?
Medium rare.
Attaboy. Attaboy. All right. Good stuff. All right. I know the answer to this question. Your favorite football team, and why is it the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, it's definitely the Dallas Cowboys.
Why?
Just because everyone hates them and makes more room for people to like them.
Yeah?
Especially when they beat them. Everybody they play pretty much besides the Eagles.
Yes.
They're going to go far in the playoffs, you think?
They're going to the Super Bowl.
Okay. That's pretty far.
We'll talk in January.
Who's your team, Carlos? Cleveland Browns?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Thought it was, man.
No, it's worse. It's the Texans.
Yeah, it's worse.
That's the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah. Perennial.
In every aspect. I just we're moving on. Anyway, favorite college football team that you like watching?
Oh, UT. Texas.
That's fair. It wasn't the Aggies. It's fine.
Yeah.
Aggies are horrible this year. Apart from A-Shane. A-Shane's pretty good.
Oh, A-Chain, he's good. Don't worry, Coach. I won't talk much more about A-Chain. You don't have to worry about that. Do you have a favorite non-football team, just basketball, baseball?
Oh, the Houston Astros.
Attaboy.
There
we
you
go.
Hey.
There we go. I'm sure you were elated when they knocked out the Phillies.
Oh, yeah, I was going crazy.
I'm sure you were. I'm very sure. Do you have a favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete? If I had to say one, probably Jose Altuve.
Jose Altuve. Okay. Why?
Because he's pretty much like a leader. He likes to lead, and he's pretty good at baseball. Mm-hmm. Especially for his size. He's small.
Yeah,
really short.
You wouldn't think a guy that comes to the plate, he could just mash home runs like he does.
Oh, yeah, especially like 5'5", 170.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the bat he carries is bigger than he is. I don't know.
You said it. Do you have now, here's the most scrutinized question that we've had all season long. Your favorite subject in school?
Oh. Probably culinary arts, even though we don't cook. All we do is slideshows, but we don't do anything, so it's pretty cool.
Fair enough. All right, but what do you like about it most?
Probably messing with Coach Van Wagner. Because he messes with me about how bad my punting is, which I had to agree with him.
You're not supposed to say that in front of your head coach right there, man.
So I guess Shiloh's the punter next year then? We'll talk in August. All right. Do you have any plans for after high school in your career?
Probably try to find a place to play football and baseball at.
Okay. Do you have a dream college you'd love to go play for?
Yeah, I'd probably go to UT.
Okay. We could use some help on that front. Do you have before I let you go, Austin, anybody you want to give a big shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my grandparents and my aunt, my mom and Kim and Callie and Alexis and Cody and Gary and Brett Butler.
All right, there you go. Y'all give it up for Austin Taylor.
Good job, Austin.
Austin, thanks for joining us, man. Glad to finally gotten you up here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good job, man.
Woo, hello. All right, we're going to step aside and take another break. And coming up next is a guy that I've been equally excited to bring on the show, and why not save the best for last. JT Kroll joins us next. We'll be back in a few moments here on the Hornet Nation Coach Show live from Chick-fil-A. Hello, friends. This is Carlos Zimmerman with this week's edition of The Right Call, presented by Jeff Hitt Family Law. The Sunshine State of Florida was a backdrop to absolute dominance by the Bearcats last week, and it was highlighted by senior Dante Powers, who made the right call to isolate himself for a 3 before the halftime buzzer against South Dakota that gave the Cats momentum to bring home a Fort Myers tip-off title.
Dante Powers, who's been hot here in the first half, working against Burchill, steps back for a 3. Bangarang, Dante!
The Right Call is presented by Jeff Hitt Family Law.
Sometimes life throws you a curveball.
You're out!
When it does, make the right call. Jeff Hitt, local attorney with over 30 years of experience. Jeff Hitt will walk you through your options and represent your needs, protecting your future. Jeff Hitt is an expert in Texas child custody laws and knows how to protect you in a divorce or complicated family matter. Make the right call. Jeff Hitt, Family Law. At 936 Custody. That's 936-287-8639. 936 Custody.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show, getting ready to get down to the nitty-gritty. Thank y'all for joining us here tonight. Again, I want to remind you, as the show begins to wind its way down, you have 20 minutes to get your name into the running for that signed flag by the entire team. So get your names in there now. It doesn't matter who you are. Come on, go out there and sign up. All right, our last segment joining us now is Mr. JT Kroll from the defensive line. Big 5'4". Y'all give it up for JT.
JT's in the house.
JT, glad to have you back, man.
Glad to be back.
Absolutely. I'm okay. Someone said something that stuck out to me. All right, man, junior season for you. I mean, you had some ups and downs throughout this year, but overall made some big plays, especially in that last game of the regular season, which we'll talk about in a minute. Just what was your thoughts on the season?
I mean, I could have done better, but that's what everybody says. Everybody could have done better, but I feel if I didn't get hurt the first game, I would have made a bigger impact on the team.
Now, playing defensive line, this is your second season at the varsity level. If correct me if I'm wrong on that. I should know that because, you know, you and me, we talked on the sideline all last year. But, I mean, what has that been like for you, getting that experience as a sophomore to help build you for your junior and then eventually your senior year?
It was good. It prepared me to be undersized last year, and now I'm bigger than everybody. So,
JT, let's look at the Richmond-Randall game. Big breakout game for you. Fumble recovery, big sack. What was going through your veins as you went out there and made some of those big plays, man?
I just try to stay calm.
Yeah.
I mean, until it happens, then everything happens, and you get that adrenaline.
And then the pandemonium breaks loose and just crazy.
Best feeling in the world.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You're playing the best sport in the
Who
world.
was that you just almost absolutely buried on the sideline whenever you made that fumble recovery?
Because
it was one of your coaches. Me and Brian were going nuts. I just looked down, and I was like, man, JT almost bowled through somebody. Was that one of your coaches?
There's somebody. I think it was Del Real.
Okay.
I think it was Del.
Okay. I mean, let me ask you this, just in general, what goes through your mind as you're just, you're sitting there in the trenches, you see that opposing offensive line in front of you, just what goes through your mind before you just break through that line and go hit somebody?
Kill him. Simple as that,
Simple as that?
You just see it, you just go.
Shed the block and go?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Got you.
Sometimes they hold, and you got to pop them.
It's fair. It's very fair. On the defensive line, do you primarily play defensive end, or are you more one of the interior guys?
I'm more the interior guys, yes, sir.
What do you prefer between the two?
I prefer. That's a loaded question, Carlos. I like DT,
Okay.
but DN, I'd be dominant. I'd be way better than Cody. I can throw them skinny little tackles around. There's some big fat boys that you got to move around.
That's right. So you get to learn. You mentioned Coach Del Real. You got to learn from him and the other defensive coaches. What did you learn most from them this year?
Keep my cool. Yeah, and just
it's always important.
Just roll with the flow. Go with the hand God tell you. Mm-hmm. I probably messed that saying up, but
he knows what he meant. He knows what you meant, Brian.
So you're one of the upperclassmen out there. What was it like for you getting help from some of the younger guys on the D-line? What would you tell them?
Thank you. We needed it.
Yeah.
A couple games. But, I mean, I tried my hardest. Everybody tried, but, I mean.
When you came back from injury and you got back in and you started playing a lot of snaps, how'd that feel to you just personally, getting back out in there?
Felt good, I wish I wouldn't got hurt, but everybody wishes they don't get hurt, but you just go till it happens. And you got to learn from it, recover, go out there and dominate.
Now
Exactly.
Yeah, there was a good mix on that defensive line this year. Of course, your mainstays in Kadarian Easley, Jadarius Smith, you, and then getting some of the younger guys in there like Cody, and even the Finnish import, Sakari Karu. I mean, what was that like playing alongside those guys this year?
Sakari was a bit difficult to deal with, man, because sometimes coach would call something and he'd look at you and go, "This way?" And I'm like, "Yeah, buddy."
This way? Is that what he'd ask? Yeah.
He'd sit there and redo the hand signal. I'm like, "You just saw it, buddy. Come on now. Come on now, Bubba."
Sometimes I think he just went out there and just went. And
yeah.
Okay.
Well, he is from Finland. They don't play a whole lot of American football.
That's fair. That's fair. Just biggest takeaway for you from this year and to apply it into the next season.
Just go. All gas, no brakes.
There you go. Just go. I like it. Best piece of advice that someone's given you just in your life, and who was it from?
In my life? Don't be an ass. From my mom.
Okay.
Well, that's a good
That's
one
fair.
to live by.
That's fair. That's very good. That's something we all need to live by.
That's absolutely right. Yes, we do.
Yes.
Sorry for the French.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's not one of the 7 ones, so we're all good. We're all good. Now I know one of your biggest inspirations, obviously, is your dad. I'm sure y'all talk football all the time. I mean, he's been talking a lot about it with me too while I'm on my trips, and he's just sending me. He was like, "Hey, he's doing this and stuff like that," which is fine, Steve. I love it when you send me that stuff. What have you learned most from your dad?
My dad, I'd not take crap from nobody, and just people are gonna say some things. Just don't listen to it. Just go. Just go with the flow. You know?
I like it. I really do. I really do. All right, throw some rapid fire your way before we let you go. What do you do normally just to get locked in for a ball game?
Don't talk to nobody, and if I do, it's probably something stupid. Just listen to music usually.
What kind of music?
Whatever the vibe of the day is. It doesn't matter what genre. Just however I'm feeling that day is the kind of music I'm listening to.
Throw some gospel in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I like it. What's your particular meal that you like to have on a game day?
Beans.
Beans.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Any particular reason?
I eat beans, we win.
Well, hey, Coach, he's going to be eating beans all year next year.
They bring me a plate of beans, and I'll tear it up.
I mean, you'll be tearing it up, but I
ate about 4 scoops of beans before the Richmond Randall game, and I did amazing. So,
hey, then there's your recipe, man. 4 scoops of beans for every ball game next year.
There you go.
I'm gonna bring a can with me.
There you go. I like it.
Now, if there's another, I gotta collect myself after that. Is there another position other than the D line that you want to play?
I feel like I'd be an amazing fullback at tight end.
Ooh.
Austin would never get touched. And if I got the ball, I wouldn't go down.
It's good. I like it. So you're going to be playing baseball as well as Austin coming up this year. What are you looking for baseball this year?
Just go out there, have fun. Don't stress.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit bombs.
Hit bombs. There you go. You know what position you're going to play just yet?
Can't play anywhere but first base or PO. I'm left-handed. And I'm too big for the outfield. So.
Yeah, that would do it. So, all right. Let me throw more rapid fire your way. Favorite food, just all time.
Steak.
Austin said steak. Okay, so steak for you as well. Now here's the big question.
Rare. Bloody.
Bloody. You like to hear it moo, is what I'm hearing.
Wipe its butt. Bring it to me.
I don't even know what to say, man. Hey, there you go.
That's fair.
There you go.
Okay. Favorite NFL team that you like to watch?
I don't really watch the NFL.
Fair.
I really stick to college football.
Okay. What about college football?
A&M's really let me down.
Yeah, I know.
A lot.
Jimbo didn't take out a bowl.
Jimbo didn't do good at all.
It's fair. It's okay. I mean,
my
it's
other
okay.
school didn't do good either. They're in the same predicament.
Which school is that?
Texas State. And OSU was doing good, and then they did bad.
Oklahoma State or Ohio State?
Oklahoma State.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah, it happens. Every team has their down year. The Bearcats had a down year this year as well, so it's all good. But
at least we ain't Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had bad.
That's a shot at
I
one.
work with a bunch of people from Nebraska. And they love their football.
Is that a shot at somebody?
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about who that was at. All right, do you have a favorite non-football team?
Favorite non-football team?
Like basketball, baseball?
Astros.
Astros, all right. Matthew liked that one.
I'm with
Thank you,
Matthew.
Matt.
I mean, hey, nothing wrong with the Stros, man. Favorite athlete?
Rob Gronkowski or Taylor Lewan.
Taylor Lewan, that's a different one, but Gronk? Why Gronk?
Got the same personality.
This is true.
I can see that, yeah. I can see that.
Make sure he doesn't turn into him, though. So
Why not? He's amazing.
I have my opinions. Do you have a favorite subject in school that you enjoy?
History or Weldon.
Okay. What do you like about history in Weldon?
Weldon, just going there by yourself, or if you don't want to be by yourself, you just go mess around. But history, because it's just nice to know.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Do you have any plans for after high school and your career ahead?
Love to go play college football or baseball somewhere, but if that doesn't happen, I'm still going to go to college, study wildlife and fishery and wildlife science or wildlife management, become a game warden after that.
Wow. Very cool. All right. I like that. Do you have a dream college you'd love to go to?
A&M.
A&M.
Or anywhere that would like to give me an offer. I'd be happy with that.
Gig 'em, I guess. All right. There you have it. All right. Y'all give it up for JT. JT, thanks for coming on, my man. Appreciate you. Absolutely. Glad to have you on.
JT, proud of you, man. Good job.
All right, we got a couple of more things to take care of before we come off the air. We might end a little bit early tonight and get y'all out on your way before we go. All right, Mr. Kring, would you bring me the box, please, sir, so we can draw the winner of this flag? You can stay. You can stay. It don't matter. You can leave the headset on.
Leave the headset on. There you go.
All right. It already popped open. All right, there we go. All right, let's dig around in here. Let's see who's going to win the flag tonight. Yes, drum roll, please. All right, let me see if I can grab one. Kimberly Taylor.
Nice. Very nice.
We will get you that flag before we come off the air this evening. So there you have it, Kim. Congratulations on winning the signed flag. All right. That's it, man. That's it. That was the show.
That's
all right,
amazing.
But obviously there's a lot of thank yous we want to get out there for all the folks. I want to thank the entire KSAM staff for all they do. Our general manager, Tim Johnson, who's in the house tonight. Y'all give it up for Tim.
100%.
He does a lot of great work for us.
Thank you.
Our operations manager, Brian Reeder, Glenn Edwards, and William Franz. Thank you guys very much. I want to thank, I don't see Mike anymore, but I do want to thank the folks here at Chick-fil-A. They have been tremendous hosts.
Yep.
All year long. When we had discussed things before this, we were wondering, all right, where do we want to keep it where we had it before, or do we want to move it? And then Chick-fil-A stepped up in a huge way, and the staff has been fantastic. And Mike, I know you're not here, but thank you very much for all the work that you've done for us. I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Diana K. Barnes, Jimmy and Diana Barnes. They did a lot to help make this show possible as well. So y'all give it up for Diana K. Barnes, State Farm Insurance as well. The folks at Huntsville ISD, Dr. Scott Shepard, the representation for it tonight, Lisa Blackburn as well in the athletic department, and of course, head coach Rodney Southern. Thank you guys. We appreciate everything that you guys do, and y'all give it up for them as well. And going into this year, it was a different looking kind of year, just a lot of unknowns that was going into this season once I took on the role here. And me and the entire KSAM staff, we put together quite a crew. And none of my crew's here tonight outside of the man next to me, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But Luke Scott was down on the sidelines for me most of the season, and he did a fantastic job doing that role. We've also had Colin Neal, who's running the dials back at the station right now for us. He produced a lot of our games. Houston Hardcastle produced a lot of our games. Christian Cortez ran our camera throughout the whole year, and Kendall Morris was a big help for us as well. So please, I know they're not here, but y'all give it up for our crew as well. Thank you very much. And I want to specifically bring this guy here, Jordan Smith. For those who don't know Jordan, he and I, we both started at KSAM together back in the fall of 2020, and things just kind of blew up from there. We're both graduates from the Sam Houston Mass Communications Department, and Jordan, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you so much for all the work that you have done just running this and then everything else you do behind the scenes. And I know a lot of it can go unnoticed, but I thank you very much, my friend. Y'all give it up for Jordan. And, of course, I want to thank this guy right here to the left of me, Brian. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to be able to call the games with you here, do the show with you. It's been an absolute blast to do it with you. I couldn't have asked for a better color analyst and a better friend to do it with. So thank you. Y'all give it up for Brian.
Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it, man. You know what? It's been a pleasure for me because you stepped into the role and you did tremendous.
Thank you.
And not only with the Hornets, but with Sam Houston. And for me, being an older guy, I mean, we hit it off just like that, you know. And I enjoyed doing all the traveling that we did together, all these Hornet games, man, a lot of fun. I look forward to many more.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Brian. I appreciate that. All right, folks, that is all that there was for the show tonight. Again, thank y'all very much for coming out tonight. Great crowd for our final show. Y'all give it up a round of applause for yourselves. Thank y'all for coming. And on the count of three, one final time for this season, and Matthew, you can do it with me. On the count of three, let's give one more big Stingham Hornets. Go ahead, Matthew.
Stingham Hornets!
Thank y'all very much for joining us. Have a great night, and as always, have a pleasant tomorrow. We will see you next year right back here at Chick-fil-A for the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Good night.
Husky Trailers, strong and solid. Have you shopped all the trailer parts in our showroom on Highway 19? Husky Trailers is an authorized dealer for all the most popular products made. Come check out our huge inventory selection of tire and wheel assemblies, axle kits, hubs and drums. Also in stock are springs, brake assemblies, LED lights, couplers, jacks, fenders, chains, and tie-down straps. We also carry truck accessories, toolboxes, fuel tanks, Nerf bars, B&W trailer hitches, front and rear bumpers. Now we carry RV parts. Yep, that's right, RV parts. If you need it, we've got it. We're family owned and operated since 1962. Located at 914 State Highway 19. Open 7:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, and 8 to 1 on Saturday. Call us at 936-295-9900. That's 936-295-9900. Or go to huskytrailers.com.
This has been the Huntsville Hornets Coaches Show with head coach Rodney Southern. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Hornet pride lives on KSAN.